Aren't I so cool? Um, Hello, this is the Gentleman Scholar from the Zero Room. Uh, just saying hello. Uh, Another day off, recovering from the hernia. Um, it's just one of those days where you're just kind of like, you're just like doing little projects just to kind of like pass the time and everything like that. Because it's very rare that you have plenty of time to like do stuff. So I basically just brought up the card stock and printed up some images from the internet and basically like did a gigantic factory cut. There's like these little things that you can like cut pictures with. They're like these little cut boards, except they're not like those big giant beheading blade things that you see in school. Uh, but they're like smaller things with like a tiny little blade. And I don't know if you could see that blade thing right there. Is I've got that. I could have taken that up, but it's way too much work. And screw that. And before you mention it, yeah, I know this room kind of needs a cleaning. It's become the spare room really. Especially since we brought Willie in here to get acclimated, and now we've sort of given him the whole house. He's like vampire cat now. He like sleeps during the day, and but you don't hear anything for hours and hours and hours on end. And then suddenly at 8 or 9 at night he comes crawling up, and I go to bed fairly early just because even before this whole medical thing, because I'm really I'm really kind of a boring person. But I go to sleep at night, and Bill's like falls asleep on the couch upstairs, and he tells me that Willie comes on up and rolls on the ground for him and checks him out, gives him a wide berth behind the chair, check him out, and that's it. So he's like seen the cat more than I have. It's been about 2 weeks since we've had him, so patient, just being patient, waiting to see if it comes out. Um, One of the reasons why this room looks so yucked is this box here is full of my new uniform for the company, and it took my husband's exasperation for me to bring the pants upstairs, so he could alter them with the sewing machine if he needed to, because the fitting went well, but you never know if they can get things right, so I had to go bring the shoes up. Got those shoes $6. It's $6 at Savers, by the way. That'll go with the uniform. So I had to bring those up, bring the pants up, and they basically work. Everything else, I just haven't felt like unpacking, because it comes down to this. When you're not at work, when you're not jet setting, I'm not so enamored with my job that, I can't wait to bust into my new uniform and have the job take any of my bandwidth when I'm away from the job, away from the airport type thing. And I'm not the only one. Many of my colleagues have stated on Facebook that, yeah, my uniform is still in the box downstairs. Haven't looked at it yet. So, I don't know if I may have mentioned this in other videos, but today one of my little projects that I like to do is I like to create stationery. I like to write letters first of all, and I'm forever hoarding, stationery that I like. It can't be too twee. It can't be too foo-foo or anything like that. But what I like to do is I like to write letters. I know it's slow. I know it's old-fashioned and oh how quaint, but it's something I learned to do in college when I was super stressed out there, being away from home. And it was only 60 miles away from home, but it was my first time away from home. And I was kind of freaked out. So I discovered that I was quite a prolific letter writer. So this is long before the internet became public. So I just started writing a whole bunch of letters, and I never got out of the habit. So I usually either go to Hobby Lobby, mostly Hobby Lobby because their prices are the best. I get a lot of blank cardstock, and then I just go on the internet. And pull off images, cut the images down to size, and eventually paste them and then Mod Podge them to the cardstock and leave them out for a while to dry. Takes a little, but yeah, basically I've just created myself a whole bunch of greeting cards that are tailored to my specific tastes, and what I'm into. And, it's easier than running around and buying them and everything else. So I just make them. That's the whole punk rock mentality, the whole DIY mentality. You don't like something out there, you make it yourself, whether it's music, whether it's greeting cards, whether it's t-shirts. The whole punk ethos is if you don't like what's commercially available, then you can make your own. That's pretty much, you don't have to be a complete affluenza consumeroid to, I'm going to cut that glare out, to basically get what you want. You can make your own. And that's it. So I don't know. It's always been a pleasure to me to just kind of sit back, and you can feel who needs a letter. And it's not so much that you expect them to write back, but you just have this burning urge to communicate with somebody. And ideally, someone will say, "Hey, thanks for the letter." Well, in a perfect world, everyone would write letters, but they don't. And I get that because life is busy, and let's face it, the computer has sped everything up. And hell, even emails now are passe with Facebook and all the other social platforms to communicate on. But yeah, I sit there, I dress out my envelope, put the stamp in my address label on, and then I just sort of like start writing and let the muse go, and just kind of just catch them up. Just what I think's more important in my life, just whatever, and then off it goes. And I just kind of like that feeling that I have communicated with that person. Yeah, I don't even want to know how much postage I've spent over the years. Oh boy. What else did I want to mention about? Of course, I'm drawing a blank. And of course, the second I sign off of this thing, I'm gonna think of it. So let's just think for a second. Nope. No. I guess I'm babbling on at this point. I will leave it at that. And I'm just enjoying the downtime, I have to say. I'm just going to go upstairs, crack open a nice cider, and just relax. And that's it. I hope you're all doing well, and we'll speak to you soon. All the best. How do you stop this thing? How do you do it?